Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this video breakdown, I want to take a look at a defense out of the nickel 2-4 that doesn't require a whole lot of steps, but yet brings some A-gap pressure on the quarterback. The name of the play that we use for this video breakdown is the nickel 2-4 overload 3 seam. Here's a look at the playbooks you can find this play out of. Before we actually show the blitz setup out of the nickel 2-4 overload 3 seam, let's take a look at the default pass coverages and pass rush assignments. Now, this particular defense, as you look at it, you have 3 defenders that are going to be dropping back into 3 deep coverage. So here's those 3 defenders right there. You've got 2 corners, and you also got the strong safety. And then you got 2 defenders here that are going to be playing the seam flats as you look at your screen right there. And then you got 1 defender who's going to be dropping back into a 3 receiver hook. So you got 6 defenders that are going to be dropping back into pass coverage. And that leaves us with 5 defenders that are going to be rushing the quarterback. Now, these are the 5 as you look at it. You got the nickel back, you got this linebacker right here. And then you also have these defensive linemen that are coming after the quarterback. Now, with that said, the key to this, for us to get this pressure on the quarterback, as you look at it, as I design it, if I show this one, it's going to come from 1 defender. Let's go ahead and take a look at the blitz setup. To set up the nickel 2-4 overload 3 seam, what we need to do here is just a couple steps. Now, the defender that we're going to look to get pressure from the quarterback here as far as through this A gap is this linebacker right here. Now, what he's going to do here when I get this set up, he's actually going to shoot through this A gap in between the center and the left guard. He'll be the one that brings the pressure. Now, as I said, this setup is real easy, so it's not really a whole lot to it. So what you're going to do here first is you're going to show blitz, as you see on your screen there. Next thing you want to do is do QB contain. And then you're going to want to take control of this defender right here, which is this linebacker. And you're simply just going to bring him just a little bit inside here, and then you're going to hot route him to blitz. Now, you're not actually going to blitz him. You're actually going to drop him back into coverage. But you do need to have him at least acting like he's going to blitz, because that's going to draw the center or someone over towards his direction. It usually should be the center, and that should open up a gap for that linebacker there, the one I talked about earlier, this linebacker here, to shoot through that A gap. So let's go ahead and run it and take a look at it, and then we'll go into the X and O's of the play. So right there, you just do that, and then you just drop them back into coverage, and that's about it right there, guys. That's about as simple of a setup as you're going to get. I'm going to run it one more time just so you guys can see it real quick here in action again. So the same thing as I just showed you guys. All you got to do is call show blitz, call QB contain, take control of that linebacker right there. Just re-hot route him to blitz, and then once the ball snapped, let him come up a couple yards, drop him back, and then you're going to get that A-gap pressure on the quarterback. And that's it. So let's go into the X and O's of the play and take a look at this one, and I'll show you guys exactly how it works. If you made it this far, hit the like button, subscribe, and get notified for our latest Madden Guides YouTube video breakdowns. From the All-22 and instant replay, we can take a look at the X and O's of the play as far as bringing pressure on the quarterback with this particular defense out of the nickel 2-4 that's called overload 3 seam. Now, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get some A-gap pressure coming from this linebacker right here. Now, this is going to be spilling of the Patriots. Now, we're looking to get some A-gap pressure into that area there. Now, to do that, we've got to get another linebacker. In this case, it's going to be, I believe, 𝗪𝗆 right there. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get him to draw somebody. Now, if you remember right, he's supposed to be dropping back into some type of zone coverage in that 3 receiver hook coverage right there. But we're trying to get him to draw one of those offensive linemen toward him. Now, you want to get the center, which is going to be this guy right here as you look at it, or you're going to try to get this right guard to look to block him. Now, in this case, it's actually going to end up coming from 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗀's actually going to be the one, as you see here, who's actually going to block him. Now, the reason for that is because this nose tackle, as you look at your screen, is actually going to get the center right there to block him into this area here. So the center's going to be blocking this guy as he comes to the inside and rushes. With that said, it's still going to create that A-gap pressure where we can get that pressure coming up through that gut right into this area here, which is what I showed earlier. All right, so what I want to do is kind of look at this a little bit closer. A couple other things I want to point out here as we go in this little view as far as with it. This guy right here, which is the nickel back, along with this one right here, they're going to draw these 2 offensive linemen to block him. So you're going to have the left tackle. As you look at it, he's going to go out here and block into this direction there. And then you're also going to have this guy right here, which is going to be the left guard. He's going to block that guy right there as you look at your screen. So you have those two guys blocking over there. The rest of the coverage is pretty good as we zoom out here as we go through this. Now, as I pointed also, the other thing you got to think about here is when you're going to manually, or not manually blitz him, but let this guy blitz, then you have to drop this guy back. Once you see this linebacker, which is spilling, get through this A gap, then you're going to want to peel back off and drop back and user this guy. And that way you can take away anything else that you may see that may be coming over the middle, rather it be some type of, for example, maybe you'll see a route coming over the middle, such as a drag, something like this. Maybe this guy's coming over this way and you got another guy coming this way. You want to drop back and take that away. Now, you can always set your coverages to 5 yards, whatever you want, and then release them and go take control of somebody else. That's up to you. I just want to point that out to you. So let's go through this as we go through the rest of it and look at it. All right, so as I zoom in again, you can see exactly what's going on. As I talked about earlier with this, you can see that the defensive tackle here is draw the center out, and now is blocking him. So we got that going on here. You can see the other guy that I was talking about, the one that we hot routed the blitz here. He's going to draw the right guard to block him. And then this is going to allow us to get that A-gap pressure right through there and getting that pressure on the quarterback, as you can see on your screen right there. So that's it there right there. Now, the last thing you can see is I'm dropping off in the back into this pass coverage here. You can see right now I'm using this guy right here, and I'm trying to take away those two underneath routes. For the most part, as you zoom out a little bit further here, you can see right now there's not a whole lot open. And as you look over here to your right, you can notice that the halfback's actually getting caught up over there with this. And the other thing I did want to point out, one other thing as I talked about a little bit earlier, with the QB contain, this guy right here is actually in position. If the quarterback were to try to roll out into this direction here, we'd have somebody in position possibly to take that away. So that's really it. But you can see right there, the coverages are pretty good as far as with this particular defense out of the nickel 2-4 overload 3 seam. If you're looking to bring pressure from the nickel 2-4 and you're looking to shoot it through the A gap from a zone blitz type defense, and then the overload 3 seam is a good choice because it does a pretty nice job at bringing pressure on the quarterback. Plus, you don't have to do a whole lot as far as the adjustments. As you guys watching this video breakdown, I only did 3 adjustments, and that allowed me to get that A gap pressure. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more Madden guides, strategy, and tips content. See you in the next video.